Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. In this video today, we're saying a message to Jose Mourinho in response to the comments that were made by Mourinho himself after the Chelsea versus Liverpool match yesterday. At the time of me recording this, you guys are seeing this on Tuesday lunchtime. I hope you're having a great day and a good start to the week. I want to say a few things before we get into the video. We're going to go over Jose's statement. I'm going to give my thoughts about it. And we're going to break it down a little bit because it has provoked a lot of responses from Chelsea fans. Some people not happy with Jose's comments, some people agree. And my current standpoint on what Jose said is that I agree to an extent, but I also disagree to an extent as well, which is why there's a debate, which is why I want to start the conversation to hear what you guys want to say in the comments down below to what Jose Mourinho said. Before we get into his statement, if I could interview anyone in football and sit down and have if I could, like a 30-minute, 45-minute chat with someone, Jose Mourinho would be the guy that I'd want to sit down with. In terms of the happiness that the man has brought me in my life, and I think that he was a massive reason behind me experiencing Chelsea winning the league for the first time since '55 in the year 2005. I remember it so well when Frank Lampard went to Bolton, scored both of those goals to seal it for Chelsea. That Mourinho team, Carvalho, Terry at the back, Lampard, Drogba, Petr Cech, Jose Mourinho in charge, and the enthusiasm, the energy that he brought to the touchline, the connection that brought with the fans after he thought that Chelsea might go out of business when Ken Bates sold the club to Roman Abramovich. Roman Abramovich buys Chelsea, and the next thing you know, we're a powerhouse in European football. Jose Mourinho was the man that came in and revolutionised that to bring this into the reality for Chelsea and our fan base. So in terms of the happiness Mourinho has brought me in my life, I could never be any more grateful. And I'd love to just sit down and have a chat with him one day about his life in football. He's a crazy character to an extent because you never really know what you're going to get with Mourinho. He came back to Chelsea for the second stint after going to Inter Milan, winning the Champions League, going to Real Madrid, winning them La Liga, breaking the Barcelona dominance there. He's done it all and he's won it all. And he's a manager who, for me, I will always respect. Some people have questioned whether he's still the man. I think that his periods of time at Chelsea, the second time, obviously he won the league again. The way he left Chelsea Football Club the second time, it wasn't nice, it wasn't good on the pitch, it was a disaster almost that season that he had, the third season. And then he went to Manchester United. It didn't work out for him there, but it's not working out for anybody at Manchester United. So I think that Jose Mourinho gets a lot of unjust criticism, and I don't think people remember what he's actually done for football. To win trophies, which is at the end of the day what everybody wants in football. And I bring it back to the statement, and we're going to read the statement out now, and I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on it. So Jose Mourinho, first of all, said that Liverpool got lucky to win the match. I think they probably did. I think we can all agree on that one. I hope they don't get used to it, referring to us Chelsea fans at this point. That's a very important thing. When you start accepting defeats just because your team played well, or the players gave their best and gave a performance for people to be proud of in terms of attitude and commitment, I think when you get used to it is when big clubs stop being big clubs. Huge statement. It's obviously triggered a lot of Chelsea fans. A lot of people are saying, why doesn't Jose Mourinho think Chelsea are a big club anymore? That is the reactionary response. I don't think there's anything within this statement that suggests that Jose Mourinho, as an individual, genuinely doesn't consider Chelsea a big club anymore. And I think that I agree with what he's saying to an extent, because there is only a certain amount of time that us Chelsea fans can continue to be happy with losses. Bringing it back to some element of reality right now though, at this moment in time, considering what we've got available to us in terms of all of the injuries, in terms of having the youngest Chelsea squad in the Premier League that I think we've ever had, I think there is definitely a time where this appreciation for the effort, the appreciation for maybe not winning the match, but giving it absolutely everything, and in the case of Liverpool, taking the champions of Europe right to the wire, rattling them. You got Fikayo Tomori playing for Chelsea for only like the 4th or 5th time, and pocketing Mohamed Salah, who's one of the best players in the world. There are so many positives, and at this moment in time, I wouldn't say that there's any doubt that Chelsea is still a massive club, just because as fans, I was walking down from the top of the West Upper yesterday, looking down at the Matthew Harding stand, everybody that stayed, who didn't leave to get out from the rush, everyone was clapping, everyone was still singing. And I don't think it's a case of Chelsea fans accepting mediocrity, because the way it's going, I don't think we've been mediocre at all. I think that defensively we've been slightly shambolic to an extent at some points, but from what we've actually seen from Frank Lampard's Chelsea on the pitch, considering the sheer massive injuries that we've also got going and the fact that we've not even got close to seeing our strongest possible 11 yet, I'm very happy as a Chelsea fan with what I've seen so far this season. Some people might turn around and say, but Sheffield United are ahead of you in the table. Yeah, because they've actually been really flipping good. So instead of criticising Chelsea, maybe just accept that Sheffield United have been very good so far this season. They come up and surprise a lot of people, myself included. And I do expect, and I will make the statement now, I still think Chelsea are going to finish 4th this season, or at least in the top 4. Some people may find that crazy, but I've seen enough on the pitch so far, and I've seen enough with the mentality of these players and the way that they handle themselves in interviews, the way that they're coming into this Chelsea team, giving it everything. And again, I cannot state this enough times in this video. We still haven't seen the best. We still haven't seen Hudson-Odoi. We've still not seen Reece James. We've still not seen Ruben Loftus-Cheek this season. And when those players come back in, what is already an exciting Chelsea team, a team that's playing well against the champions of Europe, and sadly not quite coming up with the result, but the performances are there. We do need to work on the defensive things, that is an absolute given, but in terms of Chelsea losing their status as a big club, this season is a transitional one. We've had far worse seasons, and I do feel as though if you look at the next 6 games that Chelsea have got, we're going to start seeing Chelsea flying up the table, and I wouldn't be surprised by the end of these next 6 games we're actually in the top 4. I know I'm making bold statements right now, but I think people are getting a bit carried away. Some people will listen to what Jose Mourinho has to say, and I personally, for one, think there's no better pundit in world football right now. I think the way he understands the game, the way he talks about the game, everyone is silent and everyone's listening to Mourinho because everyone's hanging off of his last words, because there's no doubt that the man knows what he's talking about when it comes to football. So when people are hearing this kind of thing, I'm seeing fans start to agree and side with it, saying, actually, Chelsea fans have got to stop being so positive. Chelsea fans have got to stop celebrating performances and start worrying about results. I don't think any of us are not worried about results. I don't think that's the reality. As I've said countless times before, as a football fan, the reason I love football so much is because I want to buy into the players on the field who I know are giving everything for the shirt and the badge that we all follow and love so much. And there's no doubt in my mind, despite the results not being great, there's absolutely no doubt that we're giving absolutely everything we can to the cause. And we've got to remember, we're playing against the champions of Europe. We're playing against the best team right now in the Premier League and arguably the best team in Europe. So, you know, it's Liverpool. It's not like we were playing at home to Brighton, which next weekend, for example, if we do lose to Brighton at home, I don't think people are going to be reacting the same way. And obviously, Mourinho is specifically talking about the fans clapping the players and applauding the players off the pitch to the extent where it looked as though Chelsea fans were very happy with what they'd seen. That's kind of the stigma that's involved with this statement from Mourinho. It's not necessarily Chelsea fans are happy, it is a sense of pride. And I don't think that there's any doubt in my mind that it's the right thing to do to support this team and to support this manager in the current state of affairs. So Danny Murphy was on TalkSport. He disagreed with Mourinho, but let's take a little look at the second part of what he said. I hope they don't get used to it. They obviously being the collective of you and I, Chelsea fans. But I think it shows that people are ready for what the season is going to be for them. Because clearly today, despite part of the performance and the result, in brackets being positive, the reality is in the numbers. Liverpool are 10 points clear of Chelsea. Let's not get carried away here. I'm not sitting here being positive every single video because part of me believes that we're actually going to win the title this season because I think we're the best team in the world right now. There's no realistic part of me that actually believes that is the case. However, there is a big part of me that genuinely has watched other Premier League football games this season. I watch a lot of football. Whenever there's a game on, I try and watch it, or at least watch the highlights, and I watch Chelsea games back a second time over, so that when I'm making my analysis videos, it kind of sounds like I know what I'm talking about, because I don't want to be just spewing out trash or repeating what someone else has said on their other video. I want to be able to offer my input as a dedicated football fan. From what I've seen from other Premier League clubs this season, I've been very impressed with Leicester. Other than that, I don't think Man City and Liverpool, there's not really anybody else that's blowing me away. Arsenal have been quite good at times, but I think they're going to ship in a load of goals the same way we will. Spurs, something's going on there. I don't know quite what it is, but there's definitely something going wrong at Spurs. So Chelsea are in a position right now where the performances are pretty good on the pitch. If we can convert this into results, which with the next 6 games, I think we probably could, and with the players coming back from injury, Chelsea are going to start to look up the table. And obviously, this is coming from a hypothetical standpoint where I'm expecting us to do very well in the next 6 games, and this kind of rounds off the whole point in response to Mourinho's statement. As a Chelsea fan, if we don't see at least 15 points from the next 6 games, I will be a little bit disappointed because even though 3 of them are away from home, I certainly feel as though we're good enough to get the wins in the next 6 games. And by the end of that, we might be looking at a team that's in the top 4. At the same time, it can also be just a typical Mourinho thing where he often says things that he knows are going to cause a bit of backlash, because at the end of the day, football is an entertainment sport and he's entertaining. There's no denying that. I think the reason so many people have been triggered is because Chelsea fans like myself, I like to consider us a big club. I think if you've won the Champions League and we've won it in the last decade, then you're considered a big club. There's absolutely no doubt about that in my mind. I think it triggers a lot of Chelsea fans, and I'll be completely honest, I got a bit frustrated. I could see Mourinho suggesting that if things carry on the way they're going under Lampard, then Chelsea won't be considered a big club anymore. That did get under my skin a little bit, and that's probably the reason I made this video, but I think realistically, the real intent behind Mourinho's statement was to really outline the fact that Chelsea fans gonna have to accept that this is the reality right now, that we're not gonna win every match. Probably not going to be expected to win every match, but as things go on this season, we will need to demand and expect an improvement in terms of the amount of points that we're picking up on the pitch. That is a given. Jose Mourinho, in my opinion, is still a Chelsea hero, Chelsea legend, and he always will be. No matter what he says in the media, I thought I'd make this video today because I just wanted to address something topical right now, because I feel as though there is a lot of Chelsea fans who are arguing amongst themselves as to whether or not it's okay to be so proud, to be so positive of these performances, and at what point do we draw the line and say it has to get better? Defensively, I have already drawn the line. We cannot keep conceding goals the way we have been from set pieces. That needs to be fixed as soon as possible. But I'm also approaching that from a standpoint of acceptance, where we don't have a full strength team. You saw the difference Kante made. Tomori looks like he's a world-class potential centre-back. It's exciting. It's very exciting to be a Chelsea fan, and that doesn't change just as a result of listening to something that Jose Mourinho might have insinuated on the TV. But yeah, that is this video. Just a little short one for you guys today, responding to that statement. Let me know your thoughts on what Jose Mourinho said in the comments down below. And as I've said before, I'm not here to criticise Mourinho. In my opinion, he's got one of the best brains in football, and his opinion is someone's who I will always listen to and look out for above anyone else. But in terms of Chelsea losing their status as a big club, we're a long way away from that. I think that the future's very bright. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you're not yet subscribed to the George Benson Football channel, be sure to do so. I upload new videos at least once every single day. I'll catch you in the next one, which will be this afternoon. Chelsea Career Mode Episode 3. See you later. Bye-bye.